Welcome to this module on some data analysis concepts. In this session, you will understand why data analysis is useful, and you will learn a few different ways to describe a data set. Data analysis. What do we do this for? Data analysis helps to uncover patterns and gain insights from your data. It helps to reveal issues or gaps in your data. It helps to simplify complex information, and it helps communicate information more clearly. Identifying key features and trends. There are different measures of central tendency, describing the central or typical value of the data. In this case, we look at mean, median, and mode, three things that I'm sure you're quite familiar with. Mean. This is what we usually refer to as average. It is calculated by adding up all the values and dividing it by the total number of values. For example, the average age of a group of kids that have the age of 3, 5, 6, and 8 is 3 plus 5 plus 6 plus 8 equals 5.5. In this case, we're talking about 4 children. So when we divide the total of this sum by 4, we get 5.5, which gives us the average age of this group of kids. We can also look at the mean of goals scored over last 7 games. In this case, we have 1, 3, 4, 6, 6, 7, and 8 goals scored. As we look at it, the mean of this is 5 because we add 1 plus 3 plus 4 plus 6 plus 6 plus 7 plus 8. And then we divide it by a total of 7 to give us a mean average of 5. Let's see another example. The cost of rent. We may be able to find rental apartments for as low as 10,000 shillings per month and as high as 500,000 Kenyan shillings per month. So say we have a small database of rent like this: 10, 20, 30, 35, 60, 500,000 Kenyan shillings, and we want to calculate the typical rent. The average would be adding this 10,000, 20,000, 30,000, another 30,000, 35,000, 60,000, and 500,000, and divide it by 7. This will give us an average of 97,900 as the average rent for these apartments. But it is almost 100,000. The 97,900, a typical value based on this data. It is much higher than most of the values. It is because the highest value is 500,000, which is an outlier, meaning an extreme high or low value, and it skews our average. Let's try a different approach. Mode is the most common value in a data set. In our case of 10, 20, 30, 30, 35, 60, and 500,000, it is 30 that is the most common value. It represents the typical value much better, doesn't it? Again, looking at the goals that we saw over the last 7 games, we had 1, 3, 4, 6, 6, 7, and 8. When you look at this, what do you think is the mode? Definitely 6 is the most common scores over the last 7 games. Median is the last thing that we're going to look into. We can also try and find the middle value. It's called median. Arranging from lowest to highest, the middle value is either the one in the middle or, in case of an even number of values, the average of the 2 middle ones. In our case, the middle value is 30 because we look at 10, 20, 30, 30, 35, 60, and 500, which are already from the lowest to the highest and are an odd number, meaning the first 3 and the last 3 leave 30 in the middle. Again, 30 gives a better sense of how much people typically pay than the average. Back to our goals scored over the last 7 games. When we look on screen, we can see 1, 3, 4, 6, 6, 7, 8. Again, they're from the lowest to the highest, and 7 numbers in total, meaning the first 3 and the last 3, leaving us with 6 as the median, which is in the middle. Range. Range gives us a sense of how spread out, how diverse the data is, how much variation there is. In our example, once again, of 10, 20, 30, 30, 35, 60, and 500, there is 500 minus 10, which is 490,000 Kenyan shillings variation in rent, looking at the highest amount, and the lowest amount. This can help you spot outliers, extremely high or low values that can affect your analyses and conclusions. In this case, we look at the highest scored game, which had 8 goals, and the lowest, which had 1 goal. When we subtract 8 minus 1, we get the range of 7. What's next? We'll look at how to find lowest and highest values and how to filter a dataset. Thanks for engaging in this module, and see you in the next one.